Hi there, poetry family, or how would I say it in Spanish? Poesía gente. I know I have some fans in Mexico, so I just wanted to say hi to them. So today I ordered a corset in honor of the poet that I'm doing today, Shakespeare, but it's way too loose. It's like the world's biggest corset. It was supposed to be a medium. But anyhow, I'm still wearing it in honor of the Elizabethan poet William Shakespeare, who lived from 1564 to 1616, and he was better known for his plays. But even his plays were written in poetic form, often in iambic pentameter. So I'm going to include some selections from his plays. But his most famous poetry was his sonnets, and from what I read, Sonnet 1 through 126 are addressed to a young man, and Sonnets 127 through 154 are addressed to a dark lady. So apparently he had at least two different loves that he honored. I'll start with Sonnet 28, and hopefully this shirt won't fall off me. Okay, Sonnet 28. How can I then return in happy plight, that I am debarred the benefit of rest, when day's oppression is not eased by night, but day by night and night by day oppressed, and each, though enemies to either's reign, do in consent shake hands to torture me, the one by toil, the other to complain, how far I toil, still farther off from thee. I tell the day to please him, thou art bright, and dost him grace when clouds do blot the heaven. So flatter I the swat complexioned night, when sparkling stars twire not thou gildest the even. But day doth daily draw my sorrows longer, and night doth nightly make grief's length seem stronger. I don't think that was about love. I think that was about the passage of time and how it can be torture. So yeah, not all his sonnets were about love. This is Sonnet. I can speak, I promise. I do speak English. Sonnet 106. When in the chronicle of wasted time I see descriptions of the fairest wights, and beauty making beautiful old rhyme in praise of ladies dead and lovely knights, then in the blazon of sweet beauty's best, of hand, of foot, of lip, of eye, of brow, I see their antique pen would have expressed even such a beauty as you master now. So all their praises are but prophecies of this our time, all you prefiguring. And, for they looked but with divining eyes, they had not skill enough your worth to sing. For we, which now behold these present days, have eyes to wonder, but lack tongues to praise. There's the reason everybody compares poetry to Shakespeare. Poetry was very fashionable at the time that Shakespeare was writing his plays, and he had very rich patrons and sponsors who commissioned him to write poems for him. Sonnet 108. What's in the brain that ink may character, which hath not figured to thee my true spirit? What's new to speak, what now to register, that may express my love or my dear merit? Nothing, sweet boy, but yet like prayers divine, I must each day say o'er the very same, counting no thing old, thou mine, I thine, even as when first I hallowed thy fair name, so that eternal love in love's fresh case weighs not the dust and injury of age, nor gives to necessary wrinkles place, but makes antiquity for aye his page, finding the first conceit of love there bred, where time in outward form would show it dead. And Sonnet 123. How oft when thou my music playest, upon that blessed wood where motion sounds, with thy sweet fingers, when thou gentle swayest, the wiry concord that mine ear confounds, do I envy those jacks that nimble leap to kiss the tender inward of thy hand, whilst my poor lips, which should that harvest reap, at the wood's boldness by thee blushing stand, to be so tickled, they would change their state and situation with those dancing chips, o'er whom thy fingers walk with gentle gait, making wood more blessed than living lips. Since saucy jacks so happy are in this, give them thy fingers, me thy lips to kiss. I think that one was about love. Sonnet 130. My mistress's eyes are nothing like the sun. Coral is far more red than her lips red. If snow be white, why then her breasts are done. If hairs be wires, black wires grow on her head. I have seen roses damasked, red and white, but no such roses see I in her cheeks. And in some perfumes there is more delight than in the breath that from my mistress reeks. I love to hear her speak, yet well I know that music hath a far more pleasing sound. I grant I never saw a goddess go. My mistress, when she walks, treads on the ground. And yet, by heaven, I think my love as rare as any she belied with false compare. Now I'm going to read a little bit from a play, Antony and Cleopatra, I believe it was. I'm not sure. This is Enobarbus describing Queen Cleopatra. Enobarbus speaks, I will tell you the barge she sat in like a burnished throne, burned on the water, the poop was beaten gold, purple the sails, and so perfumed that the wind was lovesick with them. The oars were silver, which to the tune of flutes kept stroke, and made the water which they beat to follow faster, as amorous of their strokes. For her own person it beggared all description. She did lie in her pavilion, cloth of gold, of tissue, over picturing that Venus where we see the fancy outwork nature. On each side her stood pretty dimpled boys like smiling cupids, with divers colored fans, whose wind did seem to glow the delicate cheeks which they did cool, and what they undid did. Agrippa speaks, O rare for Antony. Enobarbus speaks, her gentlewoman, like the Nereides, so many mermaids tended in the eyes, and made their bends adorning. At the helm a seeming mermaid steers. The silken tackles swell with the touches of the flower-soft hands that yearly frame the office. From the barge a strange invisible perfume hits the scents of the adjacent wharfs. The city casts her people out upon her, and Antony, enthroned in the marketplace, did sit alone, whistling to the air, which but for vacancy had gone to gaze on Cleopatra too, and made a gap in nature. Agrippa speaks, rare Egyptian. Enobarbus speaks, upon her landing Antony sent to her, invited her to supper. She replied, it should be better he became her guest, which she entreated our courteous Antony, whom ne'er the word of no woman heard speak, being barbered 10 times o'er, goes to the feast, and for his ordinary pays his heart for what his eyes eat only. Agrippa speaks, royal wench, she made great Caesar lay his sword to bed, he plowed her, and she cropped. Enobarbus speaks, I saw her once hop 40 paces through the public street, and having lost her breath she spoke and panted, and that she did make defect perfection, and breathless power breathe forth. Maecenas speaks, now Antony must leave her utterly. Enobarbus speaks, never, he will not. Age cannot wither her, nor custom stale her infinite variety. Other women cloy, the appetites they feed, but she makes hungry where most she's satisfied. For vilest things become themselves in her, that the holy priests bless her when she is riggish. The next poem I'm going to read is called Full Fathom 5. Full fathom 5 thy father lies, of his bones are coral made. Those are pearls that were his eyes, nothing of him that doth fade, but doth suffer a sea change into something rich and strange. Sea nymphs hourly ring his knell, ding dong, hark, now I hear them ding dong bell. And I have one last sonnet for you. And one more poem, and then we're done with our evening of Shakespeare. Sonnet 147. My love is a fever, longing still for that which nurseth the disease, feeding on that which doth preserve the ill, the uncertain sickly appetite to please. My reason, the physician to my love, angry that his prescriptions are not kept, hath left me, and I desperate now approve. Desire is death, which physic did accept. Past cure I am, now reason is past care, and frantic mad with evermore unrest. My thoughts and my discourse as madmen's are, at random from the truth vainly expressed. For I have sworn thee fair and thought thee bright, who art as black as hell, as dark as night. And I'm going to close with a poem called Under the Greenwood Tree. Under the greenwood tree, who loves to lie with me, and turn his merry note unto the sweet bird's throat. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Who doth ambition shun, and loves to live in the sun, seeking the food he eats, and pleased with what he gets. Come hither, come hither, come hither. Here shall he see no enemy, but winter and rough weather. Have a wonderful night, poetry family. I really enjoy spending this time with you. See you next time.